Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Trinity Talks. Today I'm going to be going over my read, reviewed, and recapped books from March of 2023. Because this year I'm trying to read 100 books, and in March I think I read 7, I don't know, I'm pretty sure it's 7 or 8. And that brought my total to 18 out of 100 books. And as I'm recording this, I've read one more, so I've read 19, and then I'm in the process of reading one too, so that'll be my 20th book. So I think it's possible for me to read 100 books. I just have to stay really vigilant and make sure I'm reading at least 2 books a week, because I am behind, as Goodreads says. I think it says I'm 5 or 6 books behind schedule, but I think I can catch up. I just have to be really stay on top of myself and make sure I'm reading. I did listen to an audiobook last night for the first time in 2 years, or no, not last night, the night before, and it was 3 hours long, and I did it while I did my nails, and it was really nice. So I think I'm going to be trying to listen to more audiobooks as well. So yeah, because for me, I think the hardest part is starting the book, but I can definitely finish it, because I don't think I'm actually incapable, I think I'm incapable of DNFing a book, because I just feel I don't know, I'm what if the book gets really good and the last page? Usually it doesn't. And this month, March, I feel I learned that a lot, because there are 2 books I really didn't enjoy. So my Goodreads is linked in the description of this episode if you're interested in it, because I do update my status as I read new books, But we're just going to go ahead and get started with that. So the first book that I read in March was Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. I did not like this book. I gave it a 2 stars on Goodreads. I just really didn't like it. A friend gave me this book. She said it was one of her favorite books. I did not enjoy it at all. So I felt pretty bad to say that, but I just really didn't. So I'm going to say a little summary of the book, and then kind of a little bit more of a review. So the summary of this book, Under the Whispering Door, is a bitter lawyer. His name is Wallace, I think. Honestly, I try to erase this book from my memory. He dies of a heart attack, and he turns into a ghost, and he's really mad when he discovers that only 5 people went to his funeral. His 3 law partners, his ex-wife, and then a random woman he's never seen before. And the woman turns out to be I don't know, she's a person that helps people cross over into the afterlife. I don't know. He meets other people in limbo and whatever. But I don't know. I really think this book could have been really good, but the beginning and the end was so slow. The middle was really good, but I was forcing myself to finish it. And like I said, I never ever DNF a book, but I feel if this book wasn't given to me by a friend, I would have definitely stopped reading it. Okay, the second book that I read was The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I gave this book a 5-star rating on Goodreads. So the summary of this one is a former Hollywood star named Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the world who she really is, but she chooses an basically unknown reporter to help her tell her life story. And Evelyn recounts her life of the golden age, during the golden age of Hollywood, how she rose to fame in a competitive industry, and her 7 husbands, and she reveals a lot of lies and a lot of secrets that she held on all these years. This is a book talk book, it's really popular on TikTok right now, the book side of TikTok. I think me and these book talk books, we have a love-hate relationship. Some I really enjoy, and others I'm just really confused on how someone could even enjoy them. I know it's an opinion, but sometimes their opinions are wrong. So that being said, I really did enjoy this book. It was really good. I read it all in one day. I got it from the library, I think on a Friday, and then I read it that Sunday. It was so what is the word? Encapsulating, I don't know. It was just really good. It kept me intrigued during the whole book. I really try to like take breaks and whatever during it, but I feel like I just had to keep going because it was so like interesting, you know? But also the ending, like, not really the plot twist ending, but like just the ending with Monique, the reporter, I think that's her name. Oh my god, I was not ready for that, really. I really wasn't. But yeah. Okay, so the next book I read was As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. It's the finale in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy. I give this one a 4-star review. And the summary is Pip, the main character, she's about to head to college, and she's still haunted by how the way her last investigation ended. I don't think that was a proper sentence, but you know what I'm trying to say. By now, she's used to the online death threats she receives for running her true crime podcast, but she can't notice one question that keeps popping up. Who will look for you when you're the one who disappears? As the threats escalate, she soon realizes that somebody is stalking her in real life, but is she going to figure out who it is before it's too late? This book was really good. I think I enjoyed it more than the second book, but not as much as the first one. I kind of already knew who the killer was. I thought it was going to be 2 people, like the killer who it actually was, and then the other guy. I don't want to say like their name. I don't want to spoil it, but I don't know. I'll put it in like the description or whatever. But I don't know. I really was shocked, but like I wasn't that shocked. And also, I love how this series, like the cover of the books, like you don't really like on this cover for this book, it's duct tape and broken glass, and that doesn't make sense until you read the book. And oh my god, that was like literally wild. But like I said, I knew who the killer was, or I thought I knew. But when it was revealed, I wasn't disappointed. Like, I feel like the clues in the book, who the killer was, it didn't like really take away from the main story. I liked being able to kind of have my own predictions and stuff on who the killer was, and I liked being right. The audiobook that I mentioned earlier, it was the prequel to this series, and I think I'm going to do an episode of like the books I read during April, which is crazy, it's already April, but yeah. I don't want to talk about the prequel, but I really did like that one too. But yeah, okay, so the next book I read, this one I did not like at all. I gave it a 1-star review. Also, if you can hear my fan, I'm really sorry. It's really hot. I live in Florida. It's always hot here. The next book is The Disreputable History of Frankie Landau Banks by E. Lockhart. I gave this one a 1-star because it was awful. It was horrible. Did not like it. I feel like the characters were so one-dimensional. But the summary of this one is, Frankie is no longer the kind of girl who takes no for an answer, especially when no means she's excluded from her boyfriend's all-male secret club. Not when she knows that she's smarter than any of them, or when she knows her boyfriend is lying to her. Like, Frankie, mind your business. Like, I don't care. I mean, I get that, like, the club or whatever was, like, not that good, but it was so freaking boring. I hated this book. I read it, like, I started it in, like, February or something, I think, and I had to, like, force myself to finish it. And the only reason I finished it is because it was, like, the only book I had to read. My brother, he got his tonsils out, and he was getting discharged from the hospital, but it was taking forever, because they had to, like, prescribe him his medicine and whatever, and this is the only book I had on my phone. If I had another book, I definitely would have just, like, stopped reading this one because it was awful. Literally horrible. Like, it took me so long to read it. I feel like the characters were so flat and just one-dimensional. And I really enjoyed, or mostly enjoyed, the author's other books. So it was just crazy that this one was a flop, in my opinion. And I don't know if it's because, I don't think it's one of the first books she's ever written, but it definitely was, like, it was written, I don't know, in like 2008, 2007, so I don't know if that was the problem, but I don't know. It was just horrible, awful, did not like it at all. Okay, so the next book I read is Girl in Pieces by Kathleen Glasgow, I don't know how to say it. I give this one 4 stars. I don't really want to give a summary of this book because it's pretty triggering, so like definitely look it up at your own risk, but I really did enjoy this one. I read it all in one day. I think. Yeah, I read it all in one day. And I've read one of her other books before, And I was really excited when I realized she was the author of this book too. For some reason, it didn't like click in my mind. But yeah, she wrote, what's it called? You'd Be Home by Now, or You'd Be Home Now, something like that. And I really loved that book. I read it, I think back in December. I really enjoyed that book so much. And then I really want to read How to Make Friends with the Dark, I think is what it's called. My library has it where I volunteer at. I just need to, I had it checked out, but I had to return it because I didn't read it in time. But I don't know, I really want to read that one too. So yeah, I think this is, oh no, I've read 2 more books. Okay, so next one is Out of My Mind by Sharon Draper. I gave this one a 4-star. I read this book in like 4th grade, and I volunteered at the library, like I said, and I was in the kids section, and I was shifting, which is basically you're moving books backwards, and I got to the D section. The author's last name is Draper, and I was like, oh my god, I remember reading this book in 4th grade or like 5th grade, and I don't know, I just had to check it out because it was right there in front of my face, you know? So I'll give a summary. I think she's 10, almost 11 years old. Her name is Melody. She isn't like most people. She has cerebral palsy. She can't talk, she can't walk, she can't write, she can't do a lot of things for herself, but she also has a photographic memory, so she can recall every single detail of everything she's ever experienced, but everyone in school thinks she's like stupid because obviously she can't talk or anything, so, you know, but she's like the smartest kid in school, but nobody knows it. But she refuses to be defined by her disability, and she's determined to let everyone know it. And I don't know if this is a spoiler. I don't think it is. I think it's somewhere in the like book jacket on the cover, so I don't think this is a spoiler. But she gets this device called I think it's like Medi-Talker. I think that's how you like say it, Medi-Talker. And it's like you can like press buttons on it and it'll like talk for you, which I thought was really cool. I know those things exist in real life. I don't know if they're actually called like Medi-Talkers. I'm reading the second book in the series, which I don't know, man. I don't know if I like it that much because this second book was written 11 years after the first one came out. Why? I don't know. But yeah. So I really like this book because I feel like it was really cute, and like I liked the way she like didn't want to be defined by her disability or anything. I gave it 4 stars because, well, I don't really know. I don't think it was a 5-star book, but I really did enjoy it, you know? I'm reading the sequel, like I said. It's okay. I don't even think I'm halfway through, so it could definitely get better, but it's kind of like mid right now. And then I read one more book in March, and it was called We Are Not From Here by, the author was Jenny Torres Sanchez, I think. And I gave this one a 4-star review. I read this book, I think it was on somebody's Goodreads profile, and it like popped up in my Goodreads feed, and I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. And my library had it, so I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And I did check it out, and it really was up my alley, I think. And I don't think it disappointed. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars. It's about 3 teens who are crossing the border from Guatemala through Mexico, and they follow the route of, okay, I don't know how to say it, La Bestia? I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. It's like a train system that might like bring them to where they're trying to go, but it's like really dangerous and stuff, you know? So yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I don't really know how to like say my one major thought on this book without spoiling it, so definitely skip ahead a little bit if you don't want to hear my spoiler. I won't go like that in depth through it, but yeah, just skip ahead right now. So I don't mean to be like mean or whatever, but that guy, what was his name? Chico, I think? Yeah. I hated him with every fiber in my being. He was so annoying. I understand like the point of the character, but oh my god, I literally was so tired of him, you know? I was like literally so happy when he died. I know that's a horrible thing to say, but I was like rooting for him to die, and then he died, and I was like, yes. See, I thought he was gonna die because, so like the book is about 3 teens, but it like the POV switches each chapter, but it only switched between the 2, like two of the 3 teens. So I was like, oh, why doesn't Chico get a POV? It's because he died. But yeah, that's why I didn't like him. He just was really annoying. And I understand, like, he was nervous and stuff, but oh my god, I'm so tired of him. So yeah, 4 stars just because he was annoying. It would have been a 5-star book if he wasn't annoying, but yeah, I don't have like any critical like review skills, so that's why I gave it a 4-star. And that's all I read this month. I feel like I did pretty good on reading books this month, and now it's April and I've read one book, and then I've started another one, and then I have 2 books that my friend gave me. It's a Court of, is it Thorns and Roses? Roses and Thorns? I don't know. I have the first and second book. She gave me those, and I definitely need to read them because she gave them to me like a month ago, and I feel really bad that I haven't read them. I don't know if I'm gonna like them though. I'm not really that big into like fantasy and stuff, but I hope I do like them because it seems interesting. I don't know, fantasy books, it has to be really good for me to like it, you know? But yeah, that's all I had to talk about this episode. I see that it's already 16 minutes long, which is definitely crazy. I don't feel like I was talking for 16 minutes, but obviously I was. Also, if you could hear like my microphone like peaking, like getting really loud, like at random points, sorry, it's the cord. It's like messed up. I have to get a new one. But yeah. So sorry if that was really loud. I'm gonna try and like cut it out if I can, but yeah. Next week I'm gonna be ranking all of Taylor Swift's songs, and that's gonna be a really long episode. This episode right now, I think this is the longest one so far. Next week, it's probably gonna be really long. She has, I think it's 196 songs that I ranked, and the stupid like Taylor Swift song ranker that I was using, it took me forever to do last night. So like just ranking them took me forever. So obviously talking about them is gonna take me forever. I got this idea from Macy Jade's podcast. I'll link her podcast in the description, but she did it and her episode was like 40 minutes long. So yeah. I was listening to her podcast episode and I was like, oh my god, this is a horrible ranking. Like, I felt like I was being stabbed every time she said one of my favorite songs at the bottom. And then I did my ranking, and her favorite songs, like the ones she put in like the top 5 spots, they're all the way at the bottom. So it's very subjective. Don't cancel me next week, but you have, a week to be prepared for my ranking. I was kind of shocked when I saw the first song on the list, but I don't know. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about this week. If you have any podcast ideas, let me know, because after next week's episode, I don't know what I'm gonna record. I think I'm gonna do an episode just about like college and stuff. I haven't started college, but like my thoughts on college, plus like high school. I did high school mostly online, so I feel like that's kind of interesting. Maybe, I don't know if anyone would actually care, but yeah, I want to do an episode on that. So I think that'll be I don't even know, what day is that? April 21st, I believe. That'll be that, but I don't know what I'm going to do for April 28th. I don't know if I'll have a podcast that week either, because we have to go out of town because my brother has to have a scan, like an MRI of his heart. So it depends, like, if I can even record an episode then. But yeah, I should probably go because it's almost 20 minutes long, and I know nobody wants to listen to my voice for that long. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next week. All my social medias, I don't have that many, like my YouTube and my Goodreads and my Spotify, my Pinterest are all linked in the description always. And I will see you guys next week.